Hi, my name is Choi. I'm learned in the Chungbuk Graduate School of Chungbuk National University, Department of Crisisonomy. Today I talk about relationship between business continuity planning and COVID-19 response. In 2020, by the COVID-19 disaster, which threatens human dignity and causing our mental distress, the importance of business continuity planning (BCP) is more focused, which had previously been noted during disasters such as the September 11 terrorist attacks and the East Japan earthquake. So there is an unusual social phenomenon using more of the non-face-to-face work that's been done before. What has not been common, even in some sports leagues, such as putting players in one place for several months and running the season. In a world like this, where it can be a difficult environment to adapt to, the study looked at what BCP is, why BCP is needed for COVID-19 responses, what COVID-19 countermeasures are associated with BCP, how effective they are, and what factors should be paid attention and what factors should be need to establishing BCP. In 2020, the corona disaster, which seems to have stopped the whole world, including Korea, is still continuing. There are extreme situations such as not enjoying the lives of countless people and feeling pain, and some countries are shaking human dignity, one of the elements that crisis management should protect, such as pointing a gun at those who violate quarantine. While it involves quite a lot of pain and difficulty to fully return to world before Corona-19, it is still the purpose of the crisis management to study the method. We would like to find out how to overcome this situation in conjunction with BCPs and business continuity plans that we believe are relevant to this disaster. Also would like to find out what is important in making a business continuity plan. It refers to maximizing corporate value by creating an environment that not only provides simple recovery such as the data backup, which is difficult to operate normally due to disasters, but also ensures customer service continuity and maintains core business functions. That is a define of business community planning. In the event of disaster, the operation of the company will also be subject to great difficulties. Existing services, staffing systems, etc. are shaken, and there are more things that are not able to perform their original tasks in a timely manner. Therefore, the concept that emerges is business community plan. Then, why it is necessary to maintain business continuity? In this special situation, people who have been eating and living in the past are in big trouble because of the usual method. In spite of these difficulties, we must ensure that such people can carry out their work as smoothly as possible so that our lives are better and our dignity is preserved. A plan to protect that dignity is BCP, and it should be prepared as carefully as possible in consideration of the risks that could arise if the BCP fails. A kind of non-face-to-face work is one of the business continuity plans that has become unavoidable due to the influx of pandemics. Corona prevents people from getting close to each other and naturally increases the frequency of each person's work at home, which is an inevitable choice. And this is the content of the non-face-to-face work system. I read. This study examined how the use of non-face-to-face work system by local governments affects the usefulness of non-face-to-face work systems for organizational members. As a result of the analysis, system efficiency, video conference, and web office are non-face-to-face, it turned out to have a positive effects on uselessness. In case of non-face-to-face work system level, it can be seen that when working through the system, it has a positive effect on the usefulness of the system by recognizing that the system has helped the performance of the work through collaboration or has been effective in communicating or achieving the intended performance of the work rather than convenience of using the system or the technical completeness of the system level. This is the content of the non-face-to-face work system of local governments. It is a good example of how company can wisely weather such a disaster if it can calmly draw a blueprint and communicate. Although it can be helped that it can handle it directly from a distance compared to a person's own. This is the content of the non-face-to-face work system of local government studied by the Korea Association of Policy Science. It is an example of how a company can wisely overcome such a disaster if it can calmly draw a blueprint and have good communication. Although it can be helped that it can handle it indirectly from a distance compared to person's own. And although it is a special situation, there can be ways to maximize the company's strengths and gain benefits through the crisis. As an article published in the Seoul newspaper suggests, though data, one of the companies specializing in software systems will be able to take advantage of disaster-optimized field to take advantage of convenience of other companies and customers, as well as their images and profits at the same time. It also shows that it is important to figure out what your strengths is and or when making basic PCP. I read that article. Meanwhile, Dow Data, a software system company, has launched a telecommunicating solution promotion for this fall and winter corona second pandemics. It provides free consulting on the virtual desktop infrastructure service that can be effectively introduced through Microsoft's Azure cloud, not in a complex and difficult way to meet the needs of corporate customers who want to introduce telecommunicating solutions at the fastest, easiest, and cheapest. But however, not everyone works non-face-to-face and telecommunicating, but they often have to take risks. There is one example of the extreme. Since it's what you like, you are likely to have a more lively mind than your work life. But sports players are also similar to your work life. After all, he plays for his team and makes the money provided through the companies that sponsor the team. The NBA, an American Basketball League, is a league with 30 teams, originally starting in October and ending the final in June of the following year. But in March 2020, the league was finally suspended for 4 months due to the COVID-19, which also prevailed in the United States. It's a league in 29 large U.S. cities, but we had to stop the spread of the infected from all over the country. In the end, he came up with the idea of using 3 stadiums and hotels at Orlando Disney World and invited only 22 teams that could advance to playoff to Orlando to run the rest of season from July to October. In order to prevent random COVID-19, he blocked contact with outsiders thoroughly, and even if he went out with permission, he had to go through 10 days of self-price, so the players had to stay in the camp for as little as a month, and 3 months is if they were to advance to the finals. They couldn't actually go anywhere in Orlando Imagine you are done at work, but you can go home and you have to sleep at the work. Of course, NBA players were able to do anything after the game, whether it was practice or hobby, except for the risky behavior of COVID-19, and the security also provided the players convenience through top-notch hotels and food services. Starting in August, some of the players' families have also entered the stadium, but the mental pain of the players who couldn't go at home after the game and couldn't enjoy a few months of relaxing leisure time with their family members was beyond description. Some players even suffered from this depression. Many people record that they managed to survive somehow with a yearning for the champion's honor and longing for basketball, but that life in Orlando was painful after the season. Fortunately, the season ended safely in October, and the Secret Artist did its best to finish the already advanced season under the pandemic situation, and viewers who missed the suspended sport could feel the joy again. The players thanked the players for going through the season, which seemed unlikely to end, but the mental pain they suffered made it difficult for the Secretariat to rewrite the season's management plan next season. In the first place, most of them thought it was a stopgap measure, and it meant a lot just to be taken into account when the season was going through another disaster. It was an example of how to deal with mental pain as well as corporate profits and employees' welfare and health in order to maintain continuity in the company's disaster plan. Yeah. In conclusions, we are trying to protect human dignity by fighting the visible or invisible pain every year. This year's visible plan would be an infection caused by the coronavirus, and invisible suffering would be the mental part we must endure. Yearning for a life we cannot enjoy as before. Still, what does the corona, which has no commitment but will one day see an end, need to overcome the disaster? We feel that we need the most, but we need patience that is really hard to keep, but we need the driving force to maintain that patience. So if the business continuity plans works well, we will be able to hope that someday they will be back in place. If they can maintain consistency in this grim situation, and even in difficult situation, we will be able to take comfort in seeing companies that still exist beside us as soon as he endured that current gloomy situation, and use them as a good reference when other disasters occur in the future to have improved crisis response capabilities. Not only can we improve our planning skills, but we can also have the power to endure difficult situations by sharing together communications with each other. Through smooth communication, we can also consider ways to ease each other's mental pain. Thank you.